You know what? I'm a multifaceted woman, and like we are. I mean, our passions, our desires are inspired every day. Like something can inspire you going to the grocery store. You know, like. So yeah, I'm just trying not to keep myself in a box and just you know being open to the possibilities.
Back at it again with another episode. So I'm hyped. I know y'all hyped. We all hyped because we got someone in the building, y'all. Repping from LA. But Shellee, please feel free to quickly introduce yourself. Let everybody know.
Okay. I'm glad to be here, first of all. I love this platform. Shout out to you queens for just putting something like this together and just bringing all of us together in this way. I think it's super special, super dope, and definitely super necessary. So I'll start there. You're welcome. So my name is Shellee, and I am born and raised in Inglewood, California. So I'm an LA baby all day, every day.
Let them know.
But both of my parents are Jamaican. So I am first generation. And yeah, I'm glad that, you know, my parents decided to step out on faith and, you know, take that journey. And I am the manifestation of their hopes and dreams for coming to this country. Well, I guess we'll talk about how in a bit. But yeah, that's a little bit of me. Dancer, actress, educator, and now philanthropist. So yeah, that's a little bit of what I do.
Yes, multiple hats. And as you know, we're here at the First Gems. And so we'll start off just to ease into the conversation with a quick icebreaker. So in the spirit of all things dance and music, who is the one artist that you could see yourself, and it has to be within the space of Afro beats, soca, reggae, hip hop. We're being a little specific now. Who is the one artist that you literally will put everything on and just be like, this is my number one artist right here.
Ooh.
Mm.
And whoever picks one, because I know y'all trying to take my man, you can't pick the same one. So
I don't even want to know who your man is because
who your man's?
Just wait and see what y'all say.
You better not say who I'm about to say.
I'll say it. Burna Boy.
No.
That's what all y'all was thinking.
You can't pick him because you don't go hard for him like I go hard for him. So
I wasn't even going to touch that territory with Jada. I wasn't.
Don't do it.
I wasn't.
Burna Boy is like my number one.
Listen.
Hey, Jada.
That has to be your number two because he's my number one. I'm telling you that right now. Don't play when it comes to Burna Boy.
Right.
I love it. Go ahead, shake the table, Claudia. All right, well, she picked it. Who's next? Who got next?
Wait, she was kidding.
10 toes down. Come on.
Wait, who's claiming Burna Boy? Because I heard 3 people.
Me? Yeah.
No, then I heard Shellee and I heard Claudia.
I definitely was going to say Burna Boy.
Okay, you know what? Because you're our guest, I will allow you to say that's your number one, but I know in my heart that's my number one. So I'm gonna let you have it.
We're gonna get into all of that. Thank you for giving that.
But since you have Burna Boy, I'm gonna let you know that WizKid, that's all I gotta say. I was listening to his album the other day, and I'm like, this is the banger.
Like, I like WizKid.
Me too. You should have said it.
Burna and I like WizKid. Okay, but you said hip hop too, right?
Right.
I thought you only said Afro beats and soca.
Okay.
No, she said hip hop.
Reggae, hip hop.
Oh. Not R&B. You know, that's my thing.
I know.
Girl, what we gonna say?
I don't have, okay, I'm gonna just go to make this quick. I don't really have a number one. You know, I like all different things. I can't pick just one. I wouldn't really put my life on nobody and just I put my life on my playlist, not one person. I'm done.
Plot twist.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I'm gonna just put my life on Beyonce because she will never steer me wrong. And she came out with Black is King. So technically, we got some Afrobeat playlist. So that's my number one.
Good answer. Good answer. That was
Does that count as hip hop or is that?
That's everything. Shoot. That's all in one. I love it. Well, I was just going to actually go off course and say Janet Jackson, but that's okay because I already took all my people, but I ride for my girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Let's just get right into it. So, I personally have, I'm just a fan. I'm a stan. And I feel like just looking back to how you and I got connected, right, which was through undergrad, going to school at Loyola Marymount University, shout out LMU, out here. And so I know that you have been dancing for technically your entire life, but I just want to know, thinking back to that space, like we went to a PWI and you were doing the things that you were already doing. So how were you able to bring who you are and where you come from into that space? Because even just as students, it was a lot, and especially the time of, what was going down in the world and the time that we were students. But on top of that, like, how were you able to just really focus on, where you were headed and what you were able to accomplish?
I guess I'd say the most important aspect was my village. Definitely, I was surrounded by supportive people at the time, like being at a predominantly white institution, it really takes a village to push through in that sort of environment. So I feel like when I got to LMU, I had developed like amazing friendships and like sisterhood with people that just pushed me and like encouraged me to walk in my greatness and was like, no, you could do this, like you should do that. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it, So yeah, I definitely feel like that was definitely something that I had to focus on and just, make sure that I was surrounded by people that were always going to uplift and encourage and not, see the task at hand is like, I don't know, maybe we should just, stay in our lane. We're not the majority here. Everyone that I was around was like, they were with it. So they was like, you want to do what? We doing it. So like I can remember at LMU, I think like my junior or sophomore year, I had planned the first ever LMU's Best Dance Crew event. Like it was huge. Like we partnered with KJLH. They pulled up. They had like some rappers come and like I got the dance teams on the campus. And then I talked to like Rec and we had it in like a dope venue on the campus. It was like over 500 people showed up. Wow. It was crazy. Wow. And like I could just think of the process, like literally meeting after meeting after meeting. And they're like, yeah, I don't know if this is going to be possible. I don't know if this is something we could do. Not getting support from the dance department. They're like, yeah, we're more into like contemporary and I'm like, okay, well, that's great. And, it's actually something that they still do. Like,
right. Let's talk about
now. So that just, I could just remember like having to lean on my village, like the Black professors that weren't even in the dance department, my mentors that were like, no, we can get this done. What do you need me to write for you? What do you need me to sign? We're gonna get this done, So yeah, I definitely say the village is definitely a force that will get you to where you need to be.
even for me too, I come from a campus event background too. So I know what it's like, that struggle, trying to make something happen, but people aren't really hip to it. But I, a whole organization kind of behind me. So it was a little different. So I really applaud you for stepping out on your own and starting things like from the ground up. Like I have a whole nother level of appreciation for that, because that is not something that's easy to do. But then when things become successful, you become the blueprint. So that's definitely right there.
I love that. And so I'm just also super geek thinking about like LA, right? Let's set the scene for the listeners, for the people. Growing up in Los Angeles, California, and one of the things that I have been meaning to ask was like, do y'all remember when Afrobeats like actually came and landed in Los Angeles, and what that was like? Do y'all remember? Because I remember it.
I remember when it started popular and infused in every single event and every single function. But are you talking about pre that, like when it first?
No, exactly that. Like what you said.
When it became trendy.
There we go. Right. So let me go back to setting the scene. Out here in Los Angeles, and I know Afro Lituation, Afro Fest, and like I really think that those were it was new territory, at least for me, as just someone who loved Afrobeats music and was just I was like, oh, y'all finally catching on to these artists,
right?
Having the opportunity to go to these like shows and see some of these up and coming artists and really like be in the space with them. And I just remember seeing you, Shellee, there and like, okay, yeah, there she on the back, like turning it up. And it's so crazy because from LA, right, where people make things happen, you're close to the entertainment industry. Like I know of people who are now like full-time dancing. Like I'll be watching the music video, I'm like, hold on, that look like. So walk us through that of you really honing your identity of being in LA, and how did you even find like dance as your passion?
I would say dance found me. Like ever since I was little, like I just knew like that's what I was put on this earth to do. Like performing, entertaining, like that's just what I did, So yeah, I had very supportive parents that saw it early and invested in my dream and my gift. And yeah, ever since that journey began, like it's just been going. Like training as a kid. And then like in LA, I don't know if you guys remember, they had like the whole like clown and crump era, right? So I stopped training, like technically training. So like ballet, modern, tap, like I was doing all of that as a kid, ballet, getting my training, modern, all that technical training. Then when like the clown crump scene came around, I was like, Mom, I'm trying to be in the streets.
Right.
Break it on down. So I left my dance studio that I was training at and doing porta bras and ballet at the bar. I left and I was over here on Crenshaw with the Crumpers. Hey. And from that, a huge choreographer, her name is Fatima Robinson. She's choreographed dance for everyone you can think of. She heard about the crump scene, and she would like come and, see what we were doing. She would book us for like professional jobs. So she would take us from like Crenshaw, and she was like, no, you guys need to be doing this music video. So we did a Black Eyed Peas music video, Hey Mama. And I was like, what? I was probably like 12 years old, and I was in the video just crumping. Right?
Yes.
And from there, she was able to like introduce us to the industry world, and they literally signed all of us because they didn't have that in the industry. They were like, what is this new style of dance? Like, we need this. So right there and then, like at 12 years old, signed to a dance agency. And once I got in, crumping and clowning, then I was able to transition and just like audition for a plethora of jobs because now I'm in the agency, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like Krump and clowning, like in LA, that's really what like got me in the door in the industry. And then from there, like I was like, yeah, I'm Jamaican and I do dance hall. So when it was time to freestyle in these auditions, like that's what you're gonna get. Like you're gonna get who I am. Like, and I'm just so blessed that I've been able to work with artists and choreographers that see that and don't, you know, want you to shy away from that. Like they love it. They're like, oh no, please be who you are. Like, please be you. So yeah, I just, wherever I'm at, wherever I'm working, like I'm gonna stay true to what I do. And that's just what it is. So yeah. I've been super fortunate to get plugged in to work with like Burna Boy at Coachella, Wizkid, Runtown, like, you know, just doing what I do and love to do, what I do in the clubs, you know? So yeah, that's that. And then of course, going back to Jamaica, like every year for holidays with family and being at all the dance hall parties and like, just, you know, indulging in the fullness of who I am and just bringing that back with me when I get back to LA.
Yes, that's beautiful. And I do agree, like, especially in entertainment, they are looking for people who are authentically themselves.
Right.
So yeah, even in certain instances where you might think, oh, I don't know if I should do this or that, I feel like people are actually looking for a unique input for maybe a dance move or like any sort of creative way to go about delivering whatever project is going on. So I think that's awesome that, yeah, you've been able to embrace your background as a Jamaican woman and figure out how to, you know, merge your passion with who you are, you know? Not a lot of people can do that. And that's amazing.
I mean, when people ask, like, what's the secret sauce? Like, the secret sauce is you. Like, you. Like, I've literally been in, I remember I was in college and I got a call from my agent for an audition for Beyonce's choreographer, Jaquel Knight. And it was a job for Nicole Scherzinger, the lead from Pussycat Dolls, right? I walked into this audition. It's a heels audition. This is my first time dancing in heels in an audition. Like, I'm still in college. These are grown women, gorgeous women. I'm still like finding my sensuality, right? So I walk in this audition with these little heels that I got. And, you know, we learn the choreography and it's like, you know, grown, like you're a woman, right? So I'm doing what I can. But then when it got to that freestyle, I said, I'm sorry. I'm just going to give you what I have. And I was in them heels, Dutty whining, all of that, hitting the squat, and he loved it. He loved it. Like, that might not be heels technique, like, but I'm just being what I know, who I am, you know? So, and ever since that, like, he's called me for everything. Like, he reaches back because he remembers me from that moment. Like, you was a little girl in them heels, hitting a duddy wine in heels. So yeah, that's true. Your secret sauce is you, like, and that's facts.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I'm trying to like, I'm thinking about how that looks.
Terrible. I went back. I called my mom. I got back to my dorm, and I was like, "Mom, like, I am not a woman. Like, I'm stressed out. Like,
oh my God."
And I booked the job. I got the part, and it worked out.
That's
right.
Amazing.
Walking in heels is hard enough. So dancing in heels, that's next level.
Never took a heels class. Never took nothing. I was just like, all right, I'm packing these heels.
Let's do it.
Man, I took a heels class, twice, and that is not for the weak. It just isn't. Like Dana said, it's so hard to even like walk in heels. I'll be like, but dancing in heels, that's a whole nother thing.
What does your shirt say, Shellee?
Oh, so it says Jamaica mixed with, and then it has like a bunch of Jamaican food. So like ackee and sawfish, beef patty, like literally just everything Jamaican.
What's a Jamaican restaurant that you would recommend out here? I know LA is lagging on the Caribbean eatery scenery, but if you had to pick one.
So here's the thing. I don't really eat at Jamaican restaurants, y'all. Because I live with Jamaicans.
Right. Yeah.
We are always cooking. But I will tell you guys, my cousin, he cooks. It's called Tev's Kitchen. And he is so Jamaican. Like you literally pull up to his spot in Inglewood, like his apartment, and he got his little cousins, his little brothers running out with your food, your bags of food. Like it's really like authentic, but the food hits. Like he do rice and peas, oxtails. He just created an oxtails macaroni and cheese quesadilla.
Oh my God.
That sounds good.
Like jerk chicken pasta, like all kinds of stuff. Like, so yeah, I'm gonna send you guys his Instagram. Test is going up. But other than that, I don't really eat at Jamaican restaurants because I eat it like at home.
Right.
So yeah.
What part of LA is it in?
It's in Inglewood, so it's like literally right by Inglewood High School.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna send y'all the info because it's real. Like you got a DM, then he'll send you the address, and then you pull up.
So Shellee, when you go back home to Jamaica, what part do you go to? Like, where is home in Jamaica?
So I'm usually in Kingston. I'm in Kingston, or I'm in Spanish Town. That's where my grandmother lives. But yeah, most of the time I'm in Kingston. Sometimes if I go with like friends and we want to do like a resorty type of feel, then we'll go to like Montego Bay for like some relaxation. But most of the time, if I'm like there for a long period of time, I'm in Kingston.
Okay, so you just with your people.
I'm with my peoples. Literally just chilling on the porch with my grandma.
That's beautiful.
Like, that's literally the life. Like I'll be in the backyard with her washing some clothes in the pan. Like,
don't you away?
Yeah, I'm a real just like chill, not a city girl type. Like I could be in the house walking around barefoot with my granny, cracking some peas, about to cook.
Yeah. I love that you said that you go back every year, because once I started going back to Nigeria every year, it started to click for me like why my uncles and everybody would go back every year. Like you just have to regroup, recharge, and like really like sit with like your core people and just like observe, get away from the crazy LA lifestyle. Like, and you just feel great. Like you learn more about yourself, about your culture.
Right.
And so I'm an advocate for people going back home and sitting with your people, look around, like, take everything in, turn your phones off, just, absorb as much as you can. So I love that you go back home, have those conversations with your, like the older people in your family, because there are history books. There are,
Yes, looking through photo albums, all of that. Like it's so important. And we're so fortunate that we have that, because so many people here like don't know where their family's from or don't have that connection to a like back home, like your real home, Yeah. So yeah, I try to stay as close and connected to that as I can.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. Are there any like huge misconceptions that you would say people have about Jamaica or Jamaicans?
Misconceptions? No, I don't think so, because I'm not gonna lie, like Jamaica is lit, and from like my tourist friends that don't like, everything that I've ever heard people talk about regarding Jamaica has been like in the highest regard. They're just always like, oh my God, reggae music is like everything. Bob Marley is like everything. Or they're always talking about our food or how we have the best beaches. Like I have never heard anyone like throw shade on Jamaica, thankfully, because if they tried it in front of me, it would be a problem. But I haven't heard like any misconceptions because we're lit. Like we have the world's fastest runners. Like I mean, I don't really know if there's much that people can say. But yeah, everything that I've heard has been like in the highest of regards. So yeah, I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
I did want to ask, obviously, with giving your, the trinkets in the background, because I'm a little nosy. I see some things back there. I want to know, and this is from what Jada was talking about going home, like when you are sharing like success with your family back home or telling them like, oh, what's Shellee doing in the States? Like, have you told them like, oh yeah, I'm with Beyonce, I'm with Burna Boy, I'm doing all this. Like, how does that translate to people back home to understand like the magnitude of what you're doing?
So yeah, because we live in the world of like social media and WhatsApp and all that, like they know everything. Like we have a family group chat. Like anytime I do something, I'm dropping pictures, videos in the WhatsApp. So yeah, they've always known me to be doing something. So it's not like a shock or alarming to them at this point. They're just like, oh yeah, my niece is on stage with Beyonce for Coachella this weekend. Like, but it's interesting because my family is very like educational and like education driven. Yeah. So no matter like what I've accomplished, like in the world of arts, it's applauded, it's appreciated, but I have never seen my family like more excited than like when I announced that like I got my master's degree. Yeah. That was like, oh. But I was on stage with Beyonce a couple weeks ago. Like, right. They're like, yeah, we know, like that's what you do. Like, but you got your master's, you got to get your doctorate. I'm like, no. But yes, it's definitely like educational. Like those are the accolades that, are a little, higher praises for that. But they know everything that I've done and they have seen it all manifested since I was younger. So they've been on the journey with me. So it doesn't really come as a surprise to them because they know, like, ever since I was little, they'll call my mom, what you guys doing? Oh, I'm taking Shellee to dance class. Oh, we doing this. Oh, Shellee's on set for this. And so they're just like used to it at this point. But my nieces and nephew, like the kids, oh, they love it. They love it. They be FaceTiming me in front of their friends. Like, this is my auntie in the States. She be like, they love it. Yeah. So it's fun. It's fun.
Oh my gosh, that is such a first gen thing of like, hey y'all, I just traveled to this place for the first time, or hey y'all, I just did this for the first time. They're like, all right, cool. And then you be like, oh, here's my acceptance letter. They're like, you better go. Like they just show up at the graduations. They want to see the degrees. So I love how you're able to really like balance both. It's like, yeah, I'm dancing at the concert tours by night, but you better know I'm working my 9 to 5. Getting that education. I love that. And so talking a little bit more about what you do in that sphere, because I know you are an educator and you work in early childhood development. So talk about how you fell into that as a career path as well, and how you're able to balance the two.
Yeah. So that kind of just happened. I guess I've always loved children. Like I was like the cousin that was like, oh, I'll babysit, so I've always loved kids. I grew up as an only child between my mom and my dad. So I was always like, oh, I want a little sister. I want a little brother. They was like, no, it's not happening. So I was like always babysitting, and my mom knew before me that like in my future, like teacher, educator, something would come up. I didn't necessarily see it. I was like, okay. So when I went to LMU, for work study, one of my jobs, I got a job at the Children's Center, which is like this cute little preschool we have for like some of the professors' kids or like kids in the neighborhood. So I started teaching there as like an assistant for the summer and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I love this. This is so cool. So after I graduated, I was like, I need a job. So my dad introduced me to a woman who actually had a preschool in Hollywood. It's called the Canyon Cooperative Preschool. And it's super dope because what a co-op is, like the parents are basically on the campus with the teacher. So they have like volunteer hours where they're working alongside the teacher. So it was literally just me and my boss and maybe like one other teacher, but all the other adults there are parents. So the parents are like cooking the snack that the kids are gonna eat. The parents are like doing yoga on the grass with the kids. And so I've never seen anything like this. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, this is so cool. So I started working there about 5 years ago. And it just made so much sense. Like whenever I had a job come up, the parents or my boss, they would be so supportive. Like some of the parents are like writers in Hollywood, actors. And so they get it. They're like, oh, you have an audition? Oh, it's fine. I'll come in for your last shift. Like I'm on my way. You go kill it. And I'm like, really? Like, are you sure? They're like, yeah, go for it. So it was funny when I booked Coachella, I was like rehearsing maybe I'll say like 15 minutes away from where my job was. So I would literally work from 8:30 to like 1 o'clock and then drive to rehearsal and like rehearse from like 2 to midnight or something like that. I was doing that for probably like 6 months. And they were so cool with it. Like my boss was like, you're going to be leaving early for like half the school year. And I was like, yeah, am I going to get fired? She's like, no, it's Coachella. So it's just been like, that school has been like a magical place because I can't think of like any other job where they're just like, yeah, you need to leave like 3 hours early today, every day this week. Go for it. Oh, you gotta go out of the country for a couple weeks. Go for it. Like literally. And I'm just like, wow. So I've just been blessed in that way. God worked it out. Like it's literally, I couldn't have planned it any better. Like it was just God. It was really just God. So yeah, I'm super fortunate.
That's awesome.
To go back with what you were saying, Shellee, about being fortunate to be in that space, because you're right. Like a lot of people from the outside will wonder like, well, how is she able to do it all? But it really is a lot of grace and like just faith and momentum that is working internally for all my spiritual people.
Yeah.
We just talked about alignment not too long ago, but it's all working. And it's like, that's how you know it's your path, like that is for you. You know, when people talk about certain instances that they're like, well, how did that work out for you? And you don't even have a real answer to give.
Right.
It was given. So I love that. And I know you had mentioned earlier on about some of the philanthropy and other work that you're doing that is rooted in LA. This is our LA episode. We got to wrap.
Right.
Yes. So this year, actually, my mom and I started an outreach where we feed the homeless. It's called Piece of the Pie, PEACE. So Piece of the Pie, where you get the whole pie. And basically what it is, we get boxes of pizza, like 100 boxes of pizza, fill up my truck, fill up her car, and we go to the LA Midnight Mission and we just start handing out boxes. Like it started on Valentine's Day this year. It was something that God gave me a few years ago. And I kind of was just like, nah, you know? Yeah. And this year I was just like, okay, you know what? This pizza thing keeps coming up. Like, all right, God, heard you. Let me be obedient. So I told my mom, as Valentine's Day was coming up, I was like, you know what, Mom? because of the pandemic, like usually we spend Valentine's Day together. Like I'll take her out, we'll do dinner, or like have a little Galentine's together, me and her. So because of the pandemic, she's really not too fond of like eating out just yet. She's just like, I could cook my own food, I'm good. So I was like, you know what, since we won't be going to dinner this year for Valentine's Day, how about we like be love for someone else, and like let's just go buy some pizza and then just pull up downtown and pass them out. So we went and we like kind of scouted like what would be a cool spot, and was like, let's just do Midnight Mission. So the first one on Valentine's Day, like I put some money together, my mom, my cousin, and we were able to get like 50 boxes of Little Caesars pizza. And it was crazy because literally like we prayed before we started handing them out. And like soon as we opened our eyes, like it was a line full of people. I was like, oh my gosh, like, whoa. So we flew open the trunk and just started handing out the 50 boxes. Literally, we were done in like under 2 minutes. Like, I was like, wait, what? And it was like so many people that still didn't get a box of pizza. So people were like, I didn't get one. Well, I didn't. So I literally just started telling them like, we'll be back. We're coming back. We're coming back. And then I get to the parking lot. My mom's like, okay, so we coming back? I'm like, yeah, I guess we got to keep doing this. So it turned into like a monthly thing. And like so many people have donated and supported. Like I have a cousin who has a nonprofit called Foster the Millions, where we just invest back into our communities. She really just like encouraged me. She's like, look, let's do it. Like, this is our home. You know, this is where we're born and raised. Like, we got to put on for our city. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So now we do it every month. And I'm just so glad to say that we started with 50 boxes. And like now we're at like 200 to 300 boxes every month. Like feeding at least 200 to 300 people. And we just pull up, and whoever comes to help me pass out the boxes, they come. And we just start unloading them out of my truck. And it's been such a blessing, not only for them, like, yes, they're getting food, but like, even for us, like, it's just, we're in a time, like, we're in a global pandemic. Like, people have lost their jobs. Things are slow. And it's just amazing to see that people still have the hearts to give. Like, every time when I post the donation link, I see people donating and wanting to help and support, and it just really encourages me because it's showing me that people want an outlet to support and give love. So I'm just glad that God is using me as, you know, someone that people can, you know, pour into to get their love out there for others. So yeah, it's been a fun journey. We've have contacts with Little Caesars, so now they donate some boxes for free, give us discounts. I could just call them up and be like, 100 boxes from this location, another 100 from that location. What can you do for me? And they're like, boom, you pay for this amount, and then we'll give you this amount for free. So it's just been cool. Like, I just pull up and they just start loading them in. Like, it's a situation we got going now. So I'm just really thankful and blessed. And I don't know, God is just showing me, like, trust me, be obedient, and like, just let me do me. And I'm just like, I heard you, you know? So I wear many hats, and sometimes I'm just like, am I doing too much? Like, people will start being like, okay, Shellee, what do you do? And I'm just like, you know what? I'm a multifaceted woman. And like, we are, I mean, our passions, our desires are inspired every day. Like, something can inspire you going to the grocery store, you know, like, so yeah, I'm just trying not to keep myself in a box and just, you know, being open to the possibilities.
Exactly.
Right. Not trying to keep yourself in a box or a pizza box or anything like that. I really love it. That's so inspiring. And I think you're right. Like, people just want an outlet to be able to help. Sometimes I always feel like everyone has a role in, whether it's when it comes to philanthropy and giving back and helping people, everybody has a role. Not everybody is fit to be an organizer. Not everybody's in the position to be a donator. Not everybody, you know, is has the skills to do the research to figure out where the need lies. So when everybody works together and, you know, you have a strong network of people working together, that's when you're really able to push things forward. And I feel like I'm one of those people who like, I would love to help, but dang, it's like, maybe it's not something that I just sit and think of an idea of how to start something, but like collabing, all of those things. I feel like there's so many people out there who do want to help. They just need to know where they fit in the puzzle. I feel.
Exactly. And that's what it's shown me, because it's like you might, or for those that have an idea and you're like, I can't do this by myself. Like, trust me, you're not going to be doing it by yourself. Like, I started with 50 boxes by myself, but now I'm like, I can't believe like I'm literally getting 300, 200 boxes. Like, I couldn't have done that by myself. Like, there's no way, you know? And some people think like, I got to have $1 million to do this. I got to be rich to do this. Like, you start where you're at, and like, God will blow your mind when he starts sending people like a $5 here, a $10 here, $20 here. Before you know it, you know, you're able to buy 300 boxes, you know? So yeah, it's definitely a team effort, and that's just what it's shown me.
Yeah.
And I love the play on words, piece of the pie. Love that.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. And you know, like in LA, the homeless population is it's really getting out of hand. A lot of these times, like you see it, and it really is disheartening. Like, where do those people go? Yeah,
it's like you want to do something, but I think everyone just thinks so big initially. Like, I don't even know how to start. Right, huge problem. But you know, little ways that you can help contribute to solving the huge problem. You just have to. I love that you said start where you're at, because that is so true too.
It's. I mean. And just showing up down there does something. Like, you know, like I've met people down there that I'm like, these are my regulars now. Like, I got a man who's like, he loved cheese. Last month I felt so bad because we ran out of cheese and he didn't get a cheese. And I'm like, you sure you don't want a pepperoni? He's like, nah, I want my cheese. I'm like, I got you next month. Like, I meet people and I'm just like, wow, like, they just need companionship. They just need to know that people are thinking of them, or that, you know, people care to come down and visit them once a month. You know, I met another guy. Every time I go, he tell me his name. My name is Aaron Johnson. I need you to pray for me. So I met him like a couple months ago the first time. And then the second time we went back again, I ran into him again and he was like, hey, my name is Aaron Johnson. I was like, I met you last month and you told me to pray for you. And then he was like, sure did. He was like, it's working because I'm still here. And I'm like, okay, Mr. Aaron Johnson. So it's like you build those relationships with people that it seems like the world has forgotten about, you know? And it means the world to them to just know that they're being thought of, you know? So yeah, it's been special.
That's so powerful.
Ooh, Shellee, this episode has been special. I just want to say, like, once again, super happy to have you here. I think it like just more people need to know all about what you do and who you are. And I just feel like it's so inspirational, specifically to other first generation people growing up. Like, you can do it all. Be a boss, be a baddie.
Yeah.
Like,
and give back to the world.
There you go. And give back. Yeah.
That is a slogan right there. A boss and a baddie who gives back, or something.
There we go.
That is, put it on a shirt. We keep saying it.
That's the bar.
Right.
So we'll wind down with our gems. Take it away.
Yeah. Okay. So every episode, we make sure that we always drop some gems for our listeners. It could, based on our conversation and what we talked about here, something that they can take away and maybe use in their everyday life or just inspire them in any sort of way. Everyone drops a gem. It could be like a one-liner, two-liner. But yeah, like we could get straight into those gems. So yeah, anyone want to go ahead?
There were so many that Shellee dropped.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna just take the one that Shellee gave us. And that one would be to start where you're at. Like so many times we want to tackle the entire issue, whatever it is that it may be, but you could just be the little piece of the puzzle that is needed to complete the entire thing. So no problem is too big for you to tackle. If you do want to go out there and give back, just start with where you're at. You can help two people that's still helping somebody.
Yep.
Yes.
I would say pay attention to the signs that God gives you, because a lot of times we just be going about our day and not really present in what God is trying to tell us that we're supposed to be doing. So when we start listening to what he has for us is when we see success in what we're doing, and we feel fulfilled in what we're doing, all just by listening to what he got to say for us. So
I love it. Love it.
I want to say lean more into your village, whether that's your village of friends, your family members. Just tap into your resources. There's people that love you or love what you're doing or are inspired by what you're doing, and they're willing to invest in your visions, your goals, your dreams. So just make sure you can seek out a really solid foundation as far as the village goes, or maybe create your own where you guys can all thrive amongst yourselves. So yeah, just lean into that village. Or go back home and visit where you're from.
She said go to your actual village.
Go to your actual village. Pull up.
I love it. I would just say ain't no such thing as a glass ceiling. Okay, I'm about to be doing any and everything that comes to me that is for me. And we all got 24 hours in the day, but I'm about to just boss up, period.
Right. Yeah.
Never know where that could land you.
Yes. I guess I'll say trust the process, enjoy the journey, because it is a journey. You are not going to have all the answers. You may think you know where you want to be next year, 10 years, but trust the process, trust God. His plan is the best plan.
Ooh,
that's another bar.
You sure you're not a rapper on the side?
Get in the booth. Let me get in the booth.
For real. Beyonce needs a new feature on her next song.
I love it.
Yeah, so all of that was amazing. Oh my gosh, so inspiring, so great. I'm really, really glad that Anna brought you on here to have a discussion with us. I feel so fortunate, and I'm sure all of my other fellow gems do as well. So where can our listeners find you? What is something that you're working on that you want to spread the word out about? Feel free to drop them.
So you can find me on Instagram at Shellee. So that's ISHELLEE. And yeah, on my Instagram, I have all my other handles for Piece of the Pie and all of that. So yeah, I'm on the gram. You can find me on the gram. And what's next? So what's next is graduation. Walking the stage next month, graduating from USC with my master's. Yes, thank you.
Yes, congratulations.
So, yeah, that's what's next. And then Piece of the Pie. I'm just trying to keep spreading love and dancing. You gonna see me on TV popping out. I got a couple of videos that I've been working on with some artists. Can't say who yet, but y'all gonna see it. I'm gonna post it. So
background dancers.
Still doing my Yeah. No, we're not crumping in this one. But yeah, I mean, follow me on the gram. Bunch of stuff is happening. A bunch of things are on the way. So yes, tap in, stay tuned, and support Piece of the Pie.
Yes. Where can we donate?
Yeah.
So our donation is on Venmo. Our donation is on Venmo. Yes. So all of that is on my Instagram.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you. Like, this is so good. Thank you.
It was a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much for joining us.
And inspiring us.
Inspiring us.
I love this. This is amazing. Congratulations to you guys. Like, this is so beautiful. People love to say Black women can't get along. We don't work together. We always try to outshine each other. But no, you guys are proving them wrong. Queens can sit on a throne side by side.
Yes.
Own right. Okay. Yes. I love it.
Thank you so much. And it's definitely now that you're in LA too, like we all can link.
For real.
Yes. If you need some volunteers.
Brunch.
Yes. I love brunch. You just said brunch. That is my thing. I love brunch. I love a good brunch. So if you down.
Yeah. And we're downtown too. I don't know. You said that you primarily do your philanthropy downtown, right? Like, yeah. So I'm like down the street from where I feel like you would be. So
perfect. Yeah, we're gonna connect.
Yeah. If you need anyone to help out, like we are all down for that as well too. So don't be afraid to reach out to us. Be like, I need some extra hands these next month. Like we're totally down for that for sure.
All right, I'm gonna be hitting you guys up.
Okay.
Yes. Well, thank you again for joining us. This has been amazing. We feel like we made a new friend, like super dope.
Well, thank you so much again, ladies. And yes, I'm gonna try to go find y'all Instagrams so we can stay connected and all that.
Yeah. Okay. I got the dance moves. Okay.
I told y'all already.
Yeah.
Alrighty, bye, ladies.